everyone, and welcome to the 2024-2025 Week 8 review, Week 9 preview. I'm joined, as always, by Joel Gibson from his office, everyone. From his office. As always, I'm the commissioner. I have the trophy. Mr. 1 year, Mr. Can't Lose, Mr. Won't Lose. We love you, Joel Gibson. With that being said, I got some good stuff for you guys. First of all, I'm so excited to be shooting this video early. I love early nights. I also love just spanking Phil and Eric. It was great on a short, weird week. It was fantastic. My Knicks came through. Adding Juice McBride looked like a genius move. I did it without LeBron and Austin Reeves for a while. Duran's been out. Oh, Joel, I can't be stopped. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
You say all this shit, but it was a weird week. You did get Phil and Eric quite clearly, but I will say that this is a weird week, and if it were a normal week, it may have been a closer score.
Maybe. I didn't cycle. I mean, neither did he, but I'm just saying, Joel, I haven't cycled. I'm averaging less than one cycle a week as the reigning champion. What?
I don't have anything to add.
Okay, great. Shout out to Phil. Good week. Glad to have Eric and Phil together and be able to beat them both at the same time. Mr. Modest continuing it up. Next matchup, we get Kyle's first win. I made this number 2 just because how often there is only 1-0 left on the board now, and that's in my loss column, baby. Kyle gets his first win over Doug, and it's clear Doug has some plans here, and man, it's going to be interesting moving forward.
Man, yeah, it's interesting. Doug said everybody. Kyle got that win that he was hoping to go with a winless season. Unfortunately, he did defeat someone. So hopefully this Doug train can be stopped and that he can rack up some wins.
Yeah, not a lot to say. Doug sat everyone, so you don't even have to analyze this. It's like Phil plays one person. It's over. So next matchup, we're getting to Matt and Steven. Matt has won 5 in a row. Let me just say that out loud to everyone. Matt has won 5 games in a row. All 5 of his wins, right in a row. Started out 0-3, 5 in a row, Joel Gibson. What's happening? Why is it that any time that, like, you're not a champ I'm still the champ, but Matt is, like, oddly in there. 5 in a row is crazy. I know he's been playing the West for the last couple weeks, but the man keeps moving up.
Yeah, he is steadily moving up. He's having a nice regular season. Some of his bigger pieces are healthy now with Chris Middleton, Paul George. Nikola Vucevic missing games is not good for him.
Nope.
But I'll tell you what, whoever traded him Cam Johnson this offseason, Matthew should be very, very thankful because Cam Johnson has been a fucking monster. And no one wanted him this offseason besides Matthew, who wisely took him.
Yeah, Matthew wisely took him, I'm sure. And there's no way... Well, Schroeder's out of there now, too, so it's really interesting. I was shocked to see him go to Golden State. I don't know about you. I just thought if you'd have given me the Schroeder market, Golden State wouldn't have been in my top 10, I think, if you gave me 10 picks.
They would have been in my top 10.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Just... All right. I mean, all right. Maybe
Another legit creator. Let Steph work off ball a little bit. That man is like 2 years younger than LeBron.
That's true. Okay, probably. If we really sat down and thought about it, maybe I might have got it in 10 picks. All right, fine. Fair enough. I was still shocked. By it. Anyway, next matchup is Neiman beating CJ. Man, CJ, I feel like and it's hard for me to like put this into words, right? Because he's only 5-3. He's still in the top of the league, right? I feel like he has had the roughest 5-3 season of all time. Of absolutely all time. Neiman ends up beating him. Neiman loses Embiid, which will be interesting. I sure hope he doesn't play a buzzsaw next week, because that would be a shame to lose Embiid right now. But shout out to Neiman. Gets his 6th win. CJ 5-3, but again, he goes back out west soon, and I think there's a lot of wins to be had out there. The injuries just continue to plague CJ, and Neiman is slowly getting a little bit healthier.
Yeah, CJ's relationship with this season has been kind of rocky. That said, things are going pretty steady. He's 5-3. I think that he is the better team than Neiman, and that this was a weird week where he got taken advantage of.
I think so as well. I agree with that 100%.
I think over a 2-week period, CJ wins. But as someone who has CJ's pick, this was wonderful. CJ, you should be deeply discouraged. You should trade away everybody.
Sell the house. It's time to sell the house.
Sell the house. Don't worry about the fact you don't have your pick.
Just sell it. Shout out to Neiman, continuing to be consistent. Next matchup is Cody versus Jake. Apparently during this matchup, they decided on 2 trades, which I will process in the morning because I don't feel like doing it tonight. But
2 trades?
2 trades. They split them up wisely so Cody could pay down both players.
I missed that a little bit, but interesting.
Yeah, two trades. It was Kyrie for Freddie in a pick, and then it was Turner for Collins in a pick, and I don't know which one. There was a 2029 pick and a 2026 pick, but not Jake's pick back. Kyle has that right now.
Yeah, I think one of those picks was a Matthew pick, which I like Matthew picks.
Not during this run, I don't like him. 5 in a row will really knock that pick down a little bit, I'll tell you that.
Fair enough.
But Cody takes care of business. We knew that was going to happen. Jake, I think, is starting to get in order. Like, I'm starting to see a team. Like, I'm squinting. I'm like, wait a minute. I see what's going on. All right. So, shout out Jake, working hard. Last matchup is Joel losing to Adam. Shocker.
Man, I did play Amen Thompson this week, but he couldn't get it done.
I saw that you had like 2 categories, and I was like, did he play like 3 people? Like, what happened? I was too lazy to click into it.
No, it was just one game of Amen out there doing the damn thing, giving it his all. I said, if you can carry us home, Buster, you got it.
That was pretty risky on a 2-game week for everybody. You never know. Crazier shit's happened.
No, it hasn't.
All right. Well, that was week 8. Man, we are already over halfway through the regular season. The seasons just go by so fast. I wait and I wait and I wait. And then we get into it, and I swear they fly by. It's absolutely absurd.
This is my favorite season by far, and I'm not even competitive.
Yeah, you're right of both of those things, my friend. You're right of both of those things. Next week, week 9, we've got the number 1 team, Mr. Modest, 8-0, Mr. Everything, versus Neiman, the number 3 team, 6-2. Neiman has a 1-game lead on 3 other teams right now, and it's just unfortunate that I'm going to have to crush his hopes and dreams and kind of send him back down there. Now, Joel, last week we talked about 1 year and me beating you for 1 year and me making you there. Do you know how many wins in a row that's been? Because I went back and counted each one of them.
How many?
19 wins in a row. So do you know what that makes this week, Joel Gibson? 20?
18?
No. You shitbag. That was funny. I'll give you that one. No, 20 wins in a row. I am going for 20 wins in a row. Never been done. may never be duplicated. 20 wins in a row. That's a fourth of an NBA season.
Ugh.
And Neiman doesn't have Embiid, and I'm definitely picking me because I am just ready.
I believe I also will be picking you for this matchup, even though I hate it.
Well, you got to go with who you know is going to win, you know? You got to feel it. You got to, like, really loosen those hips, loosen those shoulders, and, like, go with your gut. 20 in a row, Joel Gibson.
Neiman, I'm begging you. Shut this fucker up.
Yeah, so if I win this and I win all the playoff matchups this year, let's see, 5, 8, 9, 10. I think I'll get to 30 before the end of the year. I'll be just short if I can't get there. So we might be looking at a 30 piece here, Joel.
I am saving all of this. I'm filing it away.
You're filing it away. Excellent. I'm glad someone is. Next matchup is my matchup of the week, in my opinion, and that's even better than a 1 versus 3. We have a number 4 versus 6. CJ versus Matt. Now, these two have been known to have a little bit of a rivalry between each other. Matt is coming in hot. 5 in a row. CJ, I don't know, man. It's like the roughest 5 and 3. CJ probably has the better team in this situation. But I'm going to take Matt at home here and take the upset.
Oh, man. It would be really fun to see CJ steal Matt's thunder, but I also want to see CJ lose so bad.
I know. It's so interesting. It was the hardest one for me to pick all day was these two.
So the main injuries that CJ has is Bradley Beal, DeAndre Ayton, Malcolm Brogdon, and Kawhi Leonard. Unfortunately, that means that's 4 guys that are out. So that's more than the 2 IR spots we got by my math.
Yes.
I'm gonna pick Matt as well, unless we see something crazy from CJ, where maybe he drops someone we don't expect him to, and he really goes after it in a cycle type way.
Yeah. It was interesting because CJ used all of his ads this past week against Neiman as well and still came up short. So it was tough for me to like put in like a place unless he gets a little bit healthier that Matt, even without Voos, I think Matt can still do it. He's actually healthy relatively, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, both of us picking Matt is not a surprise to me. Next matchup is Adam versus Phil. Another huge seeding matchup. I have Adam at 5 and 3. CJ and Matt are both at 5 and 3 as well. So these 3 teams are the 5 and 3 teams versus Phil, who's 3 and 5. Phil put up a decent line even in a short week against me. It wasn't as much of a blowout as the scoreboard showed. I was still pretty comfortable, but I think that being the home team, if Phil really wants it, he can win this matchup with cycling. I don't know if Eric and Phil have a strategy, but they need to start winning games, and I think this is one of those games they can, so I'm going to pick Phil at home.
Yeah, so, I mean, if they really want to be smart about this, Tobias Harris can go to their IR spot, and then they have a cycle spot. They just attack this matchup.
Yep.
I'm hoping that they go for it. I'm also going to pick Phil. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm picking Phil.
Excellent. Well, the next matchup here, number 12 versus number 11, we've got Kyle 1 and 7 versus Joel 1 and 7. And you might wonder, this is the 4th matchup this week. Why is this so interesting? Because I believe that the loser of this matchup will be the number 12 team. Regardless of what happens. Now, Joel is home. Kyle could sit everybody if they both want to play their sit-all, fuck-all games or whatever. Joel will win this matchup. Kyle's been playing players. He's been going after people. If Kyle wins this matchup, it likely locks Joel at least into a position where he can start setting his lineups and still be safe, because there will be the tiebreaker between the two of them. So I'm most intrigued to see how these two teams react, because home and away work the same way in the consolation bracket as they do in the winner's bracket. So you still want to be that number 9 team. It's just interesting. That's all I'm going to say. If Kyle moves up over Joel, he likely will not be that number 9 team. If Joel moves up, Kyle will likely not be that number 9 team. So I'm curious to see how each side plays this. With that being said, I think that Kyle's going to win because, like I said, he's just been playing people, even though he has you in a position to have you win. And I just think Joel's going to sit everybody again. So that's my prediction for the game.
Man, that's an interesting call out. There also is a long-seated rivalry between me and Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'd like to kick his ass. So I'm picking me.
Oh, and is this the snake oil? Is it? We don't know. I love it. See, I love this shit. I fucking love this shit, bro.
Noah Clowney's coming for you.
Next matchup is Steven versus Cody. Cody's going to demolish Steven. Also, Cody has Steven's pick. So this is even more incentive for Cody to just butcher Steven, and there's nothing Steven can do here.
Yeah. Cody, fresh off a trade where he acquired Kyrie Irving, he is going to be looking to light Steven on fire, unfortunately.
Yeah. Last matchup is... I have Cody... By the way, I have Cody at 2 and Steven was at 10 going into this. Naturally, Cody only has one loss, which was the loss to you, Joel Gibson. Feel good.
Upset of the year, baby.
Upset of the year. And then the next matchup is Jake, who I have at 9, versus Doug, who I have at 7. And again, this is another interesting one where Doug's been clearly trying to get down to the bottom. He's at 7. That's a close number with 4 wins here. A lot of it goes into what Jake wants to do. Is he trying to be a playoff team? Is he trying to get his pick back? If he's trying to be a playoff team, you beat Doug here. You absolutely beat Doug here. If he's trying to go get his pick back, he's in an interesting spot here. And I think there's a lot of different people and a lot of different viewpoints on how these last few weeks of matchups are going to go, especially at the bottom. And like I said, I think there's definitely some open spots where you can sneak in at that 8 spot. I'm telling you, if you want it, you can go get it.
Yeah, it's very interesting. The 8 versus 9 is... Someone is probably going to be disappointed. I believe that Jake sat all of his players this last week, and Doug is the home team. If Jake continues to sit his players, that spells trouble for Doug. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, a 5th win puts him, depending on how Adam and Phil goes, puts him possibly 2 games into the playoffs. And with only, 5 to go? No, 6 to go after this week. 5 divisional, 1 out of divisional. 2 games is a lot. That's a third of the games. So it's going to be really interesting. I think that Doug, unfortunately, probably wins this. But like I said, if Jake wants the playoffs, he can have them. He can go get them. I really feel that way. So we'll see how it goes.
I'm picking Doug to win based off the fact that Jake sat everyone last week.
Right.
You don't accidentally sit everybody.
Right. Well, I feel like I also feel differently about this position if Jake had his own pick. You know what I mean? Because then it would be like,
For sure.
Of course Jake is sitting everybody. It wouldn't even be close. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm still picking Doug, but I would be 100% sure of my pick if Jake still had his pick, because then it'd be very clear what he was doing.
Agreed.
All right, well, that's it.
That's everybody.
That's everybody. Week 8, week 9, and we are coming in just under the 20 minutes if we wrap this up in the next 10 seconds. Joel, anything from you?
Wrap up in the next 10 seconds.
Wrap up. Bye. Good luck, everybody.